Welcome in, everyone, to another edition of DNVR Rapids. It's a loser's lounge in game one of the playoffs versus LA Galaxy in Los Angeles. Folks, what a game we had. I mean, spectacular sights, all kinds of furious play. I'm totally kidding. This game was pretty stinky. It was not much to enjoy tonight. Definitely felt one-sided for most of the game right from the beginning whistle. Yahya, what's your Yahya, super producer Cowboy Yahya is with us today. I'm Duane. This is Yahya. We're here.
We're not your usual host.
We're so used to seeing you guys in the chat. We didn't even think to intro ourselves. Here we are.
Most people actually
it's a Toyota Losers Lounge at DNVR Rapids. We're glad you're here to talk through this one. Not a great game. Yeah.
Real quick, on a justice coming from Luke. It feels like the Rapids haven't had a good defense in a while, but last year's defense was not bad. They actually had a pretty decent defense last year. The one thing they couldn't do was score a point. They couldn't score a goal. They kind of flip-flopped a little bit this year, right?
The defense last year was good for 43 minutes out of every half. And then those last 2 minutes of each half, they would give up a goal.
It's better than being bad for 75 minutes, man. That's what the Rapids were today. And it's not acceptable, but did we really expect anything else from this team? And I don't mean that in a negative way. I know it sounds horrible, but what else can you ask from a depleted team whose defense has been leaky all year long, and they're missing their two-star players? Like, how are you supposed to justify them being any, like, you can't justify, like, it's just they're bad. They're missing key.
Well, let's get into the roster. Speaking of what you're about to say, key players. The roster had a last-minute change that none of us were expecting tonight. And that was all of the messages coming from the team were that Cole Basset is ready. He is going to make his triumphant return, which we desperately needed in the absence of Djordje Mihailovic. And right before the game, we see the lineups come out, and there is one name absent on that roster list, and that is Cole Basset.
Man, having the winner kid himself not be in this lineup when you're missing Djordje Mihailovic, it's such a blow to the groin. It felt like I got kicked before the game even started, and from then it felt like, yep, the Rapids don't have much of a chance, right?
Yeah, it didn't feel great. Any kind of, confidence that we had going into it, it's like, well, we've got Cole back. We've got Zack back. We're still not 100%, but we got one of our main guys in the middle to try to control that and be the field commander, to try to get balls in the right place, in the absence of Djordje. And then finding out last minute that Cole is not going to be playing, brutal. Just brutal news.
And the thing is also, you look at this team, and you trust Ronan, you trust Ali, but you don't trust Omir yet. I was hoping that the 10, he was going to explode and have a good game. I thought he had more flashes than he had in the wing throughout the season, but it was still a really bad game from him.
For sure.
Better, but that's not saying much for most of the season, right? Like, he played exactly like he played most of the year. And then I personally thought the wingers were really bad today and had no service at all. Um, Felt like Cabral was kind of running without a head. Same thing with J. Lou. They were just kind of running into open spaces and nobody was helping them. It just felt bad all the way around from the very beginning. And not having Djordje and Quota control that midfield, it was felt tonight. You could really feel the difference that this team was than 10 games ago.
For sure. Let's get into the game. So this is a hard one to get into. Really, outside of the Cole absence, the only maybe pregame stat of note is Zack Steffen with his 9th MLS playoff start, first for the Colorado Rapids. So, I didn't know that he had that many MLS playoff starts. So it was nice. You kind of go into it feeling like, all right, we've got some veteran leadership here. Right out of the gate was a real bad sign. Right before kickoff, we got the unholy trinity of soccer commercials. We've got the Messi Olays commercial, followed by the mom picking her headlight setup, followed by the two people dating, sitting on the couch, both reaching for the goldfish. If that's not a sign of bad things to come, I don't know what is. Those 3 commercials are loathsome.
Just turmoil in the television commercial form.
It killed my vibes for the game. So I knew something was wrong. So we start with the unholy trinity of commercials. We get into the game almost immediately. It feels very much Galaxy. 4 minutes in, there's already a chance on goal from Galaxy. Reggie, Lawless break it up. Only a minute later, you've got Pec with just an absolute rocket from outside the box, but it misses just barely wide right, so we look out with that. Hey, it's a minute later. Guess what happens? It's Pec with another breakaway. Lawless luckily gets back to the spot, closes it off.
How good is Pec though? Like
he's great. For everything except for scoring goals. He was really had a kind of a curse on the goals tonight because he could have had at least 6.
But it feels like he's the guy. Him and Riqui were the guys that broke the Rapids tonight, right? It feels like if it wasn't for them creating all these opportunities, the Rapids and Galaxy are basically even. And that's the main talent. They had their 2 big guns, and the Rapids didn't.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Paintsel was very involved.
But again, it's because of Riqui and Pec. He doesn't get as involved if it's not just capturing all the attention on that other side, and if Ricky's not finding him in that quick little turnaround that he had like 3-4 times. That's those 2 guys were the whole engine, and it's when the Rapids are healthy. You had the same thing with Calvin Harris, right? Calvin looked like an all-star level player at moments because he had a great foundation. He had guys getting on the ball, and today Galaxy had it all.
Yeah. Yeah. These 2 rosters tonight are incomparable.
They're not, man.
They're on different levels, and we saw that from whistle to whistle tonight. The first time, after 2 or 3 Pec runs, we finally see the Rapids try to make a move. It's right around the 7-minute mark. We've got Rafa and Cabral on the break, but it gets broken up fairly easily. Hey, a minute and a half later, it's Pec on a wide open break again, and just misses this much again. I was shocked at how close his goals were, like his misses were from being goals.
And there were some cool shots in there too. Like there was some outside the box, corner shots. It looked kind of dope. It looked fun.
Yeah, I mean they had their way with it. Yeah, Crash. Go look up that XG shot short. Rapids had one shot on goal tonight, I believe. I
That's
have to go back and
brutal.
verify that, but I believe we had one shot on goal.
One shot on goal to 5 goals. It's insane.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, 10 minutes, maybe my favorite part of the game. We're only 10 minutes in, and Cannon, Reggie's already getting into it with somebody. He and Paintsel get into it. It looks pretty physical. To me, it looked like Paintsel started that, and he was the aggressor in this. But LA gets a free kick out of it. Okay. So we know how the refs are going tonight, 10 minutes in. Special note, off the pitch. It's the playoffs, everybody. And you know what that means? Playoffs means Apple announcers study and learn how to pronounce both Navajo and Maxu. So that was a cool note. We didn't hear any Maxo or Navarros. It was pretty nice. They did their homework this time, being on the big stage of the playoffs.
The Spanish broadcast was fine.
This way, you never hear Maxu, especially, ever pronounced correctly until tonight. And Navajo usually is messed
Navarro.
up too. Yeah,
Navarro, definitely Navarro.
But yeah, so we're given a little bit of hope with Reggie. Reggie, he's just got that dog. I was on Smack Watch 2024 again. I thought maybe we'd get another smack. Didn't see it at that point. 13 minutes. Hey, Riqui Puig has already fallen down 3 times. So, Hollywood brings out the best in our actors, and Puig really was putting it on tonight.
Real quick, on Reggie, I love the dog. Absolutely love it.
Oh, for sure.
Gotta hone in a little bit, brother. Gotta bring it back. You can't cost the red. I love how aggressive you are. I love it. I think it's good. You're out there playing a game. You're doing the right thing. I love the competitiveness. Gotta be careful sometimes. You can't risk a red.
I'm all for Reggie being the loose cannon as opposed to regular Reggie Cannon.
He is the loose cannon. 100%.
I love it. He's quickly turning into one of my favorite Rapids. Easily.
He's insane. That's why. He's insane out there in that pitch.
I know. Somebody's got to be.
One thing, and also talking about, this kind of brings it in, talking about Riqui falling down 3 times. Loved how aggressive they were against him when he crossed the midfield in the first half. I think that kind of really brought the effectiveness of Riqui down a little bit. But they kind of went away from it in the second half, and that's when they got completely burnt. When they were dropping him to the ground, throwing the body at him, he felt it. He was afraid to go into areas. They kind of let that go, and it really affected him.
I'm glad you put that comment from Jared up just now, because I was just reading that. Jared, I could not agree with you more. Gosh, they got a lot of support, some hugs, and some free advice from the refs tonight. The Rapids got 3 cards. Those were the 3 cards that were given tonight. It was rare that you even got a whistle just to kick the ball the other way for the Rapids tonight. But whatever, refs aside, you can't give up 5 goals. So that's one's not the reason they lost. Yeah, it's not on the refs, even though I hate them. It's not until the 17th minute that we see just a little glimmer of a something from the Rapids. And again, it's the, Hoffa and Cabral connection. A really, really nice pass slotted through to Cabral. He crosses it to the back post. Omir was somewhere in the area, but probably wasn't going to get there in time. And there were already 2 white jerseys there, and they cleared it out pretty quickly.
So many bad passes today from the wingers.
Yeah,
so many.
It was I mean, there was some nice passes until it got to the point of putting it in the net.
Exactly, like
Like
actual forward passes.
Hoffa's pass to Cabral was really nice in that spot, and Cabral's cross was pretty good too. It's just there ain't nobody there.
But was it good though? Because like exactly, nobody was there. Like nobody was there before he hit the ball. I feel like he could have helped, like at least try to get it up a little bit more because he wasn't even close to the box. But J-Lu did the same thing. Rafa did the same thing. There's not singling out Kevin. It just felt like they kind of gave up before they even right when they got to the final third, and like let's just throw this as hard as we can into the box and hope for a miracle.
Yeah, but I also feel like someone's got to be there. I mean, the whole point of playing soccer is to get the ball in the net. And it's like if you're on the wing and you've got to make a cross because like you've got two options, right? You've got a defender coming down on you. You're already in the corner. You're running out of space. You've got two options. You can cross it and hope that your offense is where they're supposed to be, or you can send it back. And for the Rapids, that means probably going all the way back to Zach and taking 20 minutes to set up again for another, chance at offense. So I'm okay with Kevin shooting it, centering it in there. It's just there's nobody other than white jerseys there.
And again, it's not even just on Kevin. It's just I feel like a lot of these passes to the final third were with no extra emphasis, and it not just Kevin. It goes for Omir, Rafa, it goes for everybody. Even Ronan had one where it just looked lazy, and it just looked like he was just trying to throw it in and then get it back as quickly as he could.
Yeah, there were some not great passes. The struggle all year has been the final third. The struggle for the last 5 years has been finishing for the Colorado Rapids. It continues to be. Gosh, where are we? Oh, we're at around 19 minutes. You know what that means, Yaya?
What?
The announcers say killer peas again. Everybody drink. That's where we are. I can't tell you how many times we heard that phrase. For anyone playing that drinking game, everyone is already halfway to drunk at only 19 minutes in. Oh, man. About a half minute later, Pencil misses super wide right. Cries to the ref that it should be a corner. That even though it could be that far off target, he was somehow still complaining it went off a Rapid. It didn't. So no corner given. Oh, gosh. 21, Omir gets absolutely pancaked in the middle of the field. Not only did he not get a whistle, but the ref gave the ball to Galaxy anyway and called it offsides on the Rapids.
That's insane because the foul happened before. Because it wasn't even a pass. It was literally he got hit and the ball landed on Rafa. What an insane call that was. It pissed me off. I was like, how?
Yeah, the reason he's offside is because he was face down in the dirt from getting pancaked.
It's such an insane damn. Who the hell sees a player fall, ball straggles along to the next player, and he's like, "Oh, offside." No, that's a foul first. It was an intentional pass.
And it was, and it was down near the line judge too. It's not like he didn't see it.
Real quick, is Oliver in the chat? Ollie Laral? Confirm with a oi, oi, oi.
I hope not.
I hope it is. It's fine.
I hope he's getting a shower or, a sandwich or something. Oh, man.
It's not Ollie Laral.
Gosh, where are we at?
It's Oliver. It's our homie Oliver. It's not Ollie Laras.
Hey, I love this Oliver just as much.
If not more. Honestly.
Yeah, maybe more. Who knows? Gosh, where are we now?
Just skip to the 45 minute. Just skip to the goal.
we're only 25 minutes in, yeah.
We can just go straight to the goal and then start talking about all the bad goals.
Okay, let's 25 minutes. Pencil puts on a terrible acting routine to try and draw a PK from Reggie. When he doesn't get the call, this is important. Magically healed.
Wow.
Paintsel will play the rest of the match. He wasn't really hurt. Oh man. Let's see. There's a couple other chances from Galaxy, but they just don't get it in. This pitch really sucks.
Oh,
Just awful. There's my note from around halfway through the first. Oh man. 28 minutes in. We got to talk about this. Paintsel wrestles, tries to drive Reggie into the ground. Reggie responds by dropping a back heel kick into Paintsel's guts.
that's the other thing that Reggie, chill, brother. You're gonna
was
get a red. It wouldn't have made a difference tonight, but chill, man.
it was so on purpose.
Reggie, dude,
So-
like Reggie, like I get it. You're angry. Like I love the ferocity, brother. You're a very kind
man.
dude. On the pitch, you're different. I get that. Watch out with them Reds. We need you. You're a key guy to this defense right now. You were the best player on that pitch.
Yeah, he drops a spinning back heel kick right into Paintsel's gut. And this is where the ref tries to like make it better on Omir getting pancaked, is that somehow the Rapids get a free kick out of that.
But again,
Should have been a card.
But to be fair, Reggie got kneed literally 2 seconds before he kicked.
Totally.
Like Pencil was
Totally.
like not completely faultless, and they're like,
no,
he
not
turned
at all.
around, gave an elbow and a knee, and that's when Reggie got mad because Pencil.
But that was like playing soccer. That wasn't like a little break and then a karate move.
No, that knee to the gut was pretty much he stopped and grabbed Reggie and kind of give him a wrestling move, and then he threw him, and Reggie's like, "Well, I'm gonna give you a sweet chin music to the groin, and hopefully it does something happen."
Gosh. Oh man, I love
And
Reggie
you're right.
so much.
Lucas Estevez never left. We still got him on the team.
We still got him. His name's
We still
Reggie
got the
now.
Mbappe lookalike. I would love to see a left back of a wide back combo of Reggie and Lucas Estevez. We're gonna be playing with 9 men the whole time, but those 10 first minutes are gonna be electric.
It's so good. Other team could lose people for the season with those two.
Yeah, I know we probably lose Reggie and Lucas to court and everything else.
Oh gosh. All right. So after WWE ends, we get to 31 minutes. There's a corner kick. There's a header from Jovalic that Lewis watches go by and Steffen can't get to. I'm not a pro keeper, so I don't know, but that one just seemed like it wasn't going too fast to me. It seemed like maybe you could set up in a better spot for that, but yeah, we've got a goal at 31. It's Jovalic. Who thought that after how many times the announcers have been saying the words killer peas? And now we have the Serbian wonder kid coming out of nowhere and scoring a goal at 30 minutes in.
Well, the thing is that one to me falls on Reggie. He had the advantage.
Yeah, right at the beginning there.
He was way more worried about holding him back than trying to get to the ball and be better. He has to, like, that's completely on Reggie. He did a good job of boxing the guy out, but then just forgot about the ball. And that's the most important part, right? You got to be ready for when that comes your way. I get it. You're fighting. But even if you have to jump a little bit, make that a harder header for him. And J. Lou also was just called ball watching. He could have probably got in there too and blocked it instead of Steffen, but he was just kind of, his reaction time wasn't there for that. And I get it. It's hard. I'm not blaming any of these guys, but there's a lot of things that they had to be better on. From Zack being in better position, not moving too much to the right, from Reggie being able to block out and take care of the ball, and also having J. Lou more attack. If he's going to be covering that post, he has to be ready for the ball no matter where it's going, not just letting it come to him.
Yeah. And, the goal happened, and my first thought was, that sucks. But Rapids are usually pretty good playing from behind.
Today they
about
played from behind.
about 10 seconds later, the ball was put back into motion, and momentum was 1000% on LA's side. I mean, it was instantaneous.
To be fair, that was basically the whole game, though.
Yeah, I mean,
it
it
just felt
felt
way
like
worse with the goal at that point.
yeah, but you felt like there might be a counter attempt that might work. But
It
at
wasn't
that point, things were shutting down quickly.
It doesn't feel like it was as much of a momentum shift as the Rapids kind of felt like they gave up immediately. They didn't try to fight back. They didn't get up. They kind of stayed on the ground, like just kind of rubbing their wound and saying, "Ow, that kind of hurt."
Yeah. Adding insult to injury, Hoffa gets a yellow card. I don't know, maybe stepped on a foot or was, patting a sheet on the back. It looked real soft to me.
It was soft, but the issue is that he just literally 30 seconds before half fouled the guy. And that was the kick that immediately went backwards after that foul. And he said, I don't care. I'm doing it again. Like, that was literally what that was. Like, you want to see a real foul?
Yeah, and again, Hoffa was losing it tonight.
Hoffa was frustrated, man. And I feel bad for him because he had no help. He was stranded up there. When it was time to press, they were pressing in a Christmas tree, a pyramid. And he had no help. Neither Omir, nor Jailu, nor Cabran, nor Ollie were helping him press. And he was looking around like, hey, where are my dudes helping me up here? I'm attacking a defender, and it's 5 versus 1. What am I supposed to do? We have no pressure up here. Why am I putting this much work in?
Yeah. 3 minutes later, as we started to get to the end of the first half, Reggie finally picks up a yellow. Doesn't kill anyone yet. Only gets a yellow. To me, he didn't even actually touch Paintsel, but I guess it looked like it did. Paintsel put on another Hollywood show. Ref comes over. Those two have been going at it, so it's been building and accumulating, and you get the feeling that was a card. Just that was an accumulation of whistles that Reggie had earned. There's another yellow. Some time passes. There's only a minute of stoppage, and we get into halftime. Let's break down the first half and then get through the second half quickly.
I think we should break down the second half more about feelings, how we're feeling at that point,
yes.
than actually talking about every single thing.
There's not much to get into.
It's literally every 10 seconds, goal, Galaxy up 5. Like, that's all it was.
It's not great. So we will break down the second half. But first, we've got to get to our friends at Toyota. Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. And as you know, as we say on every show, as Toyota will always say, trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA. For generations, Toyota has built durable legends destined for greatness, and they're perfect for Colorado. Snow's on the way, folks, and that's going to be the perfect time for a Toyota truck. Whether you're conquering those off-road trails, hauling the weight of the world, there's a Toyota truck that's just right for you, like the all-new 2024 Tacoma and the return of the iconic 2024 Land Cruiser. Either of those you could jump into and race away from Los Angeles and get back to our beloved Colorado in record time. I'm sure of it. If it's not one of those two, hey, Toyota offers 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, like the Epic 4Runner. Toyota also currently offers more low and zero emission vehicles combined than any other automaker. That gives our customers numerous choices to reduce their carbon footprint. And there's 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck. Toyota SUVs take command on the road and on the trail. so you can explore the road less traveled without sacrificing smooth city rides in SUVs like RAV4 and Grand Highlander. Highlander. Man,
Toyota
it's
will be the
late.
highlight of your day.
It is the highlight of your day.
Of your life. I'm
Uh,
sorry to your family.
Gosh, if you could jump in, I mean, whew, I love my car, but it's getting a little old. Man, that would be the highlight of my day. I'm a Forerunner guy, so
Getting a brand new
that,
Toyota.
that would be a dream car for me. Truck, I guess. Anywho, visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. And as you all know, not only is Toyota the official vehicle of DNVR, Toyota is a proud partner of your Colorado Rapids.
All right, guys, and when you're done with your Toyota, don't forget about DNVR events. We got a bunch of cool stuff, especially tomorrow, the tailgate. You can still get your ticket. You can show up, buy it at the door, or you can just buy the party bus, which we always do for the Broncos home tailgates. It's a lot of fun. Tomorrow, we're going to have No Sean, Jarrell Casey, and Todd Davis out there. I'll also be out there. We're going to do the pregame show live from there. It's going to be a lot of fun. You get drinks included, foods included. You get the best view of any stadium. It's the Broncos tailgate, so much fun. And then tonight we had the Buffs tailgate. We had the Buffs tailgate against Cincinnati. Buffs are kicking butt right now. It's all good. It's all fun. And you should probably join those tailgates too, because we're doing those for home games as well. You can always join in. I think the price of the ticket, it's with all our package included, it's cheaper than if you just buy your regular ticket, which is insane.
And the tickets are like sold out for home games. But when you buy the tickets through DNVR, it's not only cheaper, but you get parking and you get the tailgate. Like it's crazy. Like you're insane for not picking up on that deal. It's just the parking alone.
It's and you're parked like right in front of the stadium too.
Yes.
So it's like it's great parking, easy access in and out. It's just a no-brainer. And then if you guys don't like a lot of football, you can also guys jump into our DNVR apps takeovers. We got the one, the only Milan Hajduk joining our first Avalanche takeover against the Capitals, I believe it is, in November. Yep. It's gonna be so much fun. November 15th. Last time you might ever see Alex Ovechkin play at Ball Arena. I know Duane's not a huge fan, but that dude is a legend.
But legends are legends, dude.
He is a walking legend. He might be the top 2 best goal scorers of all time in the NHL.
He is. I mean, he's creeping up on Gretzky right now.
He could win that. Like go watch Alex. Go talk to Milan Hajduk. Go do an Avs takeover. And if you don't like hockey, we also caught you covered with some basketball. Go watch the 3-time MVP. Try to take the Nuggets back to victory. We got a bunch of fun stuff. It's just a no-brainer to party with us. We have a November 2nd takeover against the Utah Jazz. It includes a pregame party bus at the DNVR bar, pregame party at the DNVR bar, party bus to and from the game, watch Nuggets warm up courtside, game ticket in section 123, and that's just the tip of it, because we usually have special guests in those that come in for post games. You get to talk to the fellas. It's so much fun. Please join us for all our events. It's a no-brainer to be part of what we're doing. All right. Real quick though, before we continue, I do want to shout out Mitch. He dropped a great article on Chris Armas and everything he did this year. It's at the DNVR events. Become a diehard. Not the DNVR events. It's at
DNVR.com.
At DNVR.com. Join via diehard. It's only $4 a month right now, and you get a shirt at sign up. It's a great way to do it. Please go check it out. Mitch put in so much work. A lot of exclusive stuff in there. Great piece of work.
Yeah, it's a great read. Definitely jump in there, check it out. Should we get into this exciting second half, Yaya?
Oh, let's do it. Let's get into all the goals the Rapids did see
All
going.
right. Well, let's just jump right in. We're only 6 minutes into the second half. Yamani crosses the ball in front of about 5 burgundy jerseys, and Nelson, a left back, wide open, kicks the ball over Lewis, who is now laying on his back, and Steffen has zero chance on that. Just what are you going to do? I mean, you pass the ball, you have a line of burgundy jerseys that all just go, watch the ball go by. A left back is somehow wide open at the corner of the box. Lewis somehow is laying on his back in the dirt, and probably the pitch. The pitch was pretty bad. I didn't see how he went down, but it was just a wide open shot. And he buries it. Steffen has no chance on that one. So, hey, it's only 2-0, but it sure feels like the route is on.
Yeah, at that point, you're just like, yeah. And then when the third one comes in, you're like, yeah, makes sense. And then the fourth one, you're like, okay, it's getting a little ridiculous. Then that fifth one, you're like, kind of feels like not a good night to be a Rapids fan.
Yeah, I don't know. Right, that goal, and then you had another one 90 seconds later. That felt like the nail in the coffin for me already.
Me and Mitch talked about it on the last show. We said just put everybody in front of goal and don't move them, and just put one guy at the very top and hope not to get embarrassed and play for the draw. And I wish they would have done that tonight. It might have been boring, but at least it would have been a better result.
Yeah, I mean, maybe anything would have worked better than what we saw tonight.
It does make me a little angry that the Rapids dropped back so much. I wish they would have just played their game and tried to push it up harder, because if you're going to lose, you're going to lose anyways. If you're out-talented, you're going to be out-talented. At least go out there and try to punch him in the mouth first.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they tried to push, but every time they did, it was a bad pass to Pec, and Pec just screamed down the side and just brought everybody with him, from both teams.
I guess
so. There really was, I felt like there was nothing to be done.
I just hated the long ball strategy tonight. I knew it was going to happen. It's the smart choice, in all honesty. I just hated it. I just felt, hey, you don't got Cole, you don't got Djordje. Go out there and try to play the exact same game. Try to punch him in the mouth. If you get hit in a counterattack 20 times and you allow 20 goals, at least you're out there trying to score as well.
Yeah.
Make it into a rout. Make it into a shootout if you have to. Instead, the other team just shot you 5 times in the chest and dropped you to the ground.
It was rough, man. We didn't see too much out of anybody in the second half. The only time it looked like somebody was really worked up about the game was probably about halfway through the second, and Johnny Lewis absolutely loses his mind.
I also love that so much.
Just goes bananas. Yamani was pulling pulling on Lewis, and then he shoves him forward.
It was so
there's
funny.
No call. Like, of course, there's no call from the ref, and Lewis he had enough. I mean, Lewis had been taking hits all game. If you go back and watch it, that dude was he was taking hits the entire game, 0 whistles, and Galaxy players knew this ref's not gonna blow a whistle, so we're gonna keep doing it. And that's what happened. And finally it got to the point where you're getting a fight situation, because I'm 100% on Team Lewis on this, obviously. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen. Lewis is feisty, he's a feisty dude. But
he was booty cheeks. That ref tonight was so booty cheeks.
He was
bad, and that's not why the Rapids lost. The Rapids lost because they were bad. But man, was that ref complete an ASS. Like, And we got Merchel live from LA.
What up? How's it going, guys?
How you doing, Mitch?
Oh man, it's going so good, Mitch.
So
We're
good.
really having a great time talking about this game.
So good. No, dude. I mean, I'm sure I'm repeating here, but man, that's probably the worst playoff game in team history. Great. Another game where the second half just completely takes, completely is gone. From the second it started. I mean, Steffen makes 2 great saves within a minute, right? And I think that is literally the same exact tweet I had in the game thread from the last game, where it's like he came out, okay, like at least he's locked in, they got a shot, but great. And then, the wheels fall off, right? And both Coach and Keegan, I just got out of the presser, that goal, which, I mean, they should not have given up that first half goal. That looping header that finds the back is a junk goal. They all know it. Steffen's probably kicking himself, didn't get a chance to catch up with him. But they both cited that as like, if you get in 0-0, you compact, you shell up, you stay back, you limit the chances like you did. I think they only had, 3 shots in the first half, one of which was that header. All of a sudden you have a chance, right? Like you have a shot. And again, it was just these little mistakes, not having the guys you need. Obviously, Omir at the 10 and Cabral just coming back, both kind of invisible. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have already got to this by now. I'm not trying to step on repeat answers here, but it's brutal, And here's the biggest thing they took away is like, there's no aggregate, right? When we go down 2-0, the reason that we went down 2-0 is because, but the reason 2-0 went to 5-0 is because there's no aggregate, right? We can just start opening ourselves up and going for it, because what does it matter if we go down 3-0, 4-0, 5-0? We can just, so in their head, I think 1-0 loss, 5-0 loss, they're feeling the same in the locker room. And I don't know if that's a credit to them or delusion, or I don't know exactly what the answer is there, but it's tough. It is. It's really tough. Coach seems pretty positive. Coach guaranteed a win on Friday. Like he guaranteed a win. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm sorry. I'm not going to laugh at Coach.
Go
I
ahead.
love Coach, but what are you doing? That's fool's gold. You don't guarantee anything in life. I can't even guarantee the sun's gonna be up tomorrow, let alone the Rapids are gonna win in Carson, where the Galaxy hasn't lost all year long. The only technically home win they have was the Pasadena win, where they lost at the Rose Bowl against LAFC.
Right.
It wasn't even in Carson, it was at the Rose Bowl. It's fool's gold trying to guarantee a win against this team on the road.
To piggyback on that, and maybe Mitch, you can speak to this, having talked to Armas. One of the funnier moments from the announcers tonight was in the second half. One of the announcers asked the other one what the positives the Rapids can build upon, and they literally had nothing. Like, they actually just kind of stopped for a second and went, actually, there's not much to build on. Maybe get your star players not hurt anymore was the only answer they could come up with.
I would say, besides the fact that I agree with you and those announcers, Reggie Cannon and having some dog and having some fight. I asked Coach, I was like, Reggie, he showed the aggression, right? He showed some physicality. He showed some grit, toughness, fight. Then you go to, say, Jonathan Lewis, Lawless Abubakar, who maybe let their emotions turn away from aggression and into just being too emotional. I don't know exactly what the word is.
It's anger, from aggression
right?
to
frustration.
Anger.
Frustration is maybe the best word there, right? Anger and frustration. And Coach said, I wish we kicked more people. I wish we had 10 yellows out there, right? I wish everyone got a yellow that played. I think he said, I wish I could have kicked somebody. He's like, I wanted to see more fight and more anger and more frustration. And so the fact that you do have these guys that are so involved and so worked up, right? So frustrated, so mad about it. He actually did take that as a positive, because the fight is what keeps you going, right? If you just concede and you're like, well, screw this, I'm over it, right? There's that was last year's team, over it, right? Every game, over it. Whereas this team, they clearly are fighting for each other and fighting for coach and working so hard to win for each other that if you're still showing that aggression and that anger, that at least means the fight hasn't left the team. And in a game like that, where you get waxed by, one of the best players in the league who completely dominated every asset of this game in Riqui Puig, the fact that you're still fighting, you're still together, the locker room hasn't lost each other, that's really the only thing you can hang your hat on in this game.
Yeah, you're right. I do like the fight. It just, you also have to be careful because they were close to getting a lot of reds tonight.
Oh, yeah. I think Chris would have been happier if they did get a red. I almost guarantee it.
This team can't afford to be down more players.
No.
It's already down 2. That's my biggest thing. If you have any hope, you just can't keep putting players on the bench. It just doesn't make sense.
That's a little reckless, given the state the roster's in.
Yeah,
a little bit.
But
yeah.
How was the environment out there? It looked like it was rocking. It looked like it was very hard. Did the team feel it? Could you tell if the team was kind of distracted by it? Did it make a difference at all besides the horrible pitch?
The pitch looked terrible, and I was trying to take a look at it as I walked out, but I needed to get outside to make sure I cleared Apple's postgame show, right? Because the fence is right there. That's inside the stadium. I'm allowed to broadcast right here. So I had to sprint out. So I didn't really get to check out the pitch like I wanted to. Environment was great. The traffic was blocks long from the freeway to get into the stadium. It was packed. I'm walking in. The smell of these tailgates, I don't know what it was. I couldn't see the source, whether it was tacos or something, but it smelled so good out here. You have people selling beer out of ice chests and music is blasting everywhere. It was very cool to walk into. It's a fantastic environment. Honestly, the only knock I have on the environment, and I put this in the game fed, but they're chanting back and forth like how C38 does Colorado on one side, Rapids on the other, right? They go LA on one side, Galaxy on the other. But because no one says it at the same time in a stadium, it sounded like they were chanting LAFC.
That's what it sounded like on TV too.
That's what I thought they were chanting.
You have to find a new chant. You have to find a new chant if you're these guys. It was distracting. I'm like, why are they saying LAFC? But outside of that, and I guarantee no Galaxy fans notice this. Probably Galaxy media doesn't notice this. But there's Herbalife everywhere in this stadium. And it is so distracting to me to see Riqui Puig just like with a smoothie, like on the Jumbotron for, minutes at a time, just like buy this Herbalife. This like
ad placement, baby. It works. Marketing.
For what is kind of a joke of a company.
I don't know, man. Maybe we need some Herbalife. Maybe you could smuggle some for the squad.
Just be careful with the powders.
Right down the street here. I don't know how good of the Herbalife headquarters is like right there. So maybe I should just go knock on the door and grab a smoothie on my way back to the hotel. Fantastic environment. Very cool stadium. Obviously this club is a huge club. They have 5 MLS Cups. They've had major players. I don't know if any of these statues are in view, but there's a David Beckham statue right there. There's a Landon Donovan statue there.
Gross.
They've seen good soccer, and now they might have a player who's better than,
they landed
better than Beckham. Yeah. Puig is on this level, and he's balling. And
Beckham is he's a world superstar. That's what.
Correct.
But nobody in the MLS except for Messi has one.
This place was very loud, very rocking, very into it. It was an impressive sight from me. And I have never been to a MLS game outside of Dick's Sporting Goods Park until tonight. So it was very cool to see an environment like this. It was very impressive. And I do think, I think that first goal, how loud this place got after that first goal, because they were frustrated. That first 30 minutes, you have Reggie and Paintsel getting into it, and you have, Hoffa was mixing it up, and there was some pretty hard fouls both ways, and the crowd was getting kind of restless. That goal goes through before halftime, and it erupted. It like no soccer stadium I've heard in person. It was very impressive.
So we haven't given out flowers today. I don't think we are, but I want to put it up to the panel. Do we have flowers? Do you want the graphic? Do we want to do this?
I would. There's just one player, and I think we just kind of talked about him. It's the guy that showed fight tonight when no one else could. So, like, if you
Okay.
want to throw the graphic up,
We got to do it. It's a segment, baby.
right, segment, baby. We're on brand out
No,
here.
there's actually another guy I feel like is
Okay.
getting overlooked, and I think it's Zack Steffen. Zack, I thought tried very hard. Zack actually had some incredible saves to keep the game from not being 10-0. And I think the
Right.
same thing could be saying for Maxu. He had some of those blocks in transition that he avoided some more goals. Like, I know the game was horrible, but it feels like those two guys put in so much effort in trying to like not let this score even get worse. I know they had a lot of mistakes, but it felt like they were kind of the level of Reggie, because Reggie also had a lot of mistakes tonight. But
Yeah.
it felt like those three guys had the most fight in them all night. That they weren't giving up. Maxu on that second half kept getting in the way of Gabriel Pec. He was not giving up. He was
Yeah.
throwing his body at Jovic. Like, it just felt like, and Zach kept throwing his body at the ball at hot chance.
Right.
It was just very difficult when that defense was so bad.
Man, it's funny. I was sitting here going through like storylines I want to talk about and hit, and you're talking Puig and Royce coming in and making a huge difference, and it's like, oh yeah, they also maybe have the MLS newcomer of the year in Gabriel Pec, who kind of in the first 50 minutes was really forcing some tough defensive decisions. And you're right. I think Maxi was like, I'm done with this guy. Like I'm shutting this guy down. Man, it's a tough opponent. There's a reason this team was number one all year long, right? Like that's very clear. And like we were talking about it, waiting for the presser with some of the Rapids photographers and stuff. Is man, Puig looks like there are moments, and I'm never to compare to the GOAT, but there are moments where he looks like Messi out there, where it's not just about the right pass, it's how fast he gets out of the pass and into his next action that opens up an action 2 passes away because he sprinted so fast and because he was so quick and forced these crazy decisions. It was really crazy to watch him play, and I wish I wasn't looking at it through a Rapids lens because it's so frustrating. It was an impressive game from him.
But that's
almost-
the Barca Academy, right? Like, how
Yeah.
many guys do Barca have like that right now in that squad that just destroyed Real Madrid 4-0? You can look at Lamine Yamal, does the exact same
Yep.
thing. You have Fermin, you have Marqueseiro, you have Bernal, and you have more academy kids that just keep Cucurella. That's not even, it's the academy of Barca.
Yeah.
This man is trained in the art of the midfield.
Yeah,
Like, that's the
dark
thing. Like,
arts.
like he is trained in the art of the midfield, like all these great players in the past half. And when you put him in a place like the MLS, that's a lot rougher around the edges when it comes to the midfield.
Mhm.
Your talent just explodes. He's so good in those tight spaces.
Yeah, I don't. There's no answer to that. I kind of asked Coach, what's off the table in terms of changes, right? Like, how dramatic can you get, right? And he was like, nothing is off the table. We're going to look at it. You just lost 5-0. You have to win, right? You have to win. Whether that's you go 0-0 and win in pens because you have Zack Steffen, who's great at pens, or you figure out a way to win in regulation, whatever it is, we might see something crazy to stop him. We might see 5 back, 3 midfielders, but right in front of that, and then you hope Cabral, Hoffa, and whoever can go the other direction. But there's, without undoing some injuries, undoing some mileage, and buying a world-class player to stop them, I think you're just kind of at the mercy of how badly Puig wants to score a goal in this next game, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Duane, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, I was just I was gonna ask. So normally Mitch does this. Who's the top-rated player for tonight
Ooh, I like this. I like host
For the
Duane.
Pids,
for the Rapids? Who cares
really
about
good
Galaxy?
question.
It's Gabriel Pec.
Was it? It was Peck.
No. We're talking
No,
Rapids.
for the
Oh,
Rapids. Just for the
okay.
He
Rapids.
doesn't play for the Rapids. Screw
I'm gonna
that
say
guy.
Maxu.
Okay.
Oh no, never mind. Ronan, because of the pass
Yeah,
completion.
Connor Ronan.
Okay. Maxu is definitely not it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was
I
gonna
forgot
say.
the goals allowed or the count
The
against him as well.
The top player with a whopping 6.6 was Kevin Cabral.
That's surprising. That's a shock.
Kevin.
It was a
Kevin.
whole lot of orange and red on FOTMOP today. 6'6" from Cabral, 6'5" from Lewis and Amir.
It makes sense. He had the most dangerous plays of the night. He had the most passes into the final third.
Yeah,
it was 2, and that's that's 2 more than everybody else on the Rapids.
Yeah, he 11 for 13, 85% on accurate passes, 24 touches, 50% on successful dribbles. That means 1 out of 2, by the way.
That's basically, I mean, that's the best game of Rapid could have had. Barely touch the ball and do half the things right.
4 out of 5. Yeah, 4 out of 5 duels won. And that's about it. And everybody else was not as good as that. So
Cabral to me looked at his best actually tracking back tonight. Omir doesn't have his head up enough with the ball at his feet in the middle of the field. He's just not comfortable enough there after not playing there all season.
Yeah.
He missed a lot of runs. It wasn't just him. Reggie was open on a lot of runs, when he got outside that winger. Lewis was open on a lot of runs that got missed. I mean, it just felt like if you can't get just Cole back, let alone Djordje, one of them will open up some goal chances, right? Like, Cabral being the player of the game is so scary to me because he might have been the most invisible Rapid out there in that for his 65 minutes or whatever he played, maybe 75. Man, that is tough.
It does feel like if you have those 2 players back in Cole and Djordje, this game is way different, right? You lose 3-0 instead of 5-0.
Right. That's the thing, and it's like, I saw some people on Twitter joking that it's like, well, maybe, what do you like this offseason? Break out the money and get, I don't know, N'Golo Kante, or you need some sort of defensive midfield wizard, right? And it's like that really is like you are at the mercy of these teams that are willing to spend the money, right?
Yeah, that payroll has to go up for sure.
You can't homegrown your way to an MLS Cup anymore. You just can't. Those days are long gone.
You can fill up a really competent squad like the Rapids have this year, but it's not going to be a contender until you spend a little bit of cash. And you need to go get an elite winger. You need to go get an elite center back. And then maybe go get some more depth in that midfield. I don't think you need an elite guy, but I think you need to get some more depth.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because yes. I was just pilled by Keegan and Coach talking to them just now. Do you guys have any hope for a win on Friday night?
Oh, definitely. Man, the Rapids at home are a different beast than on the road. And I think this place is going to rock. I think if you can get one of those 2 guys back, I think you'll be fine. I really do think you can ink out a 1-0 win or a 0-0 draw where it leads you to a penalty win. Like, I don't think you're going to dominate, but I think the Rapids have some hope. It's a fool's errand to say no, especially against a team that's confident. It also could be a trap game for LA. You don't realize how confident they are after beating 5-0. They don't think they have to show up. Right. ALLCITY's going to play a role in this. If the Rapids can run them out of the park, I think they have a chance.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah, it looks like they're
about without Cole and Djordje, we're sunk.
Yeah, fair.
We saw that tonight, and yes, the atmosphere will be better because it's at home, but this is a real David and Goliath, and without Djordje and Cole, David doesn't have the little thing with the rock in it, so it's going to be a fist fight between those 2, and it ain't going to be good.
Man, yeah, home cooking does a body good, right? Like, I do kind of agree with Yahya in that this team can create the chances to score the goals. Now, will they finish the goals on Friday? Mm-hmm. But they are such a high XG team, it's tough to say you're not going to have the chances at home on Friday. So
they were -2 today in XG efficiency.
-0.02.
Yeah, -0.02.
The announcer said they weren't They don't think they've ever seen that before.
I don't think it's ever happened.
What was their XG total?
0.02.
Whoa.
So it was 0.02.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then the efficiency was negative 0.02.
it's
Okay.
bad. They were
That's
bad
tough.
today. They had no.
Yeah.
They had one shot.
I don't even know what that means. I just know it's bad.
It's bad. No, it's bad. And there was no sugarcoating going on. I'll say that. It's not like Coach came out and was like, this was positive, this was positive, this was great. Like, like we've seen him after some of these losses of late. He was very much like, everything's on the table, right? Now he did guarantee a win, I guess. So maybe I got ahead of myself with that statement there. But, you guys, this would be the craziest series win ever, right? To lose 5-0.
This is
And then come back and win a series.
This would be up there with if the Rapids win this, it would be up there with the Nuggets beating the Sonics as an 8 seed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What's funny though, and I didn't realize this until someone asked in the presser. What happened at the start of Leagues Cup? 4-1 loss, 4-0 loss in Portland, and then you're down at home to Lyon, get the late equalizer, go to Penn's win, go on a run. So who knows, right?
But they also had Colin Djordje, and that's the big if. That's the huge if.
You're
that
right.
if neither of them are ready to go, there's nothing the Rapids can do.
No, you're right. You're right.
And I love how positive you're being.
I'm not trying to be. I just, it's easy when you're around the team all day and you see them and talk to them again. It does kind of change the mood from being, I don't want to be.
Don't you talk about those vibes, Mitch?
I don't want to be a positive Polly here when I shouldn't be, but I had a blast.
No,
I had
and
a
that's
blast
fine.
watching my team get boat raced like that, right? Like it was, the environment was great. This whirlwind kind of trip where it's like, okay, land, go do this, get to the stadium, now go back. I mean, my flight is in 6 hours, so I have to still get back to the hotel and then get to Denver tomorrow morning to do this Broncos tailgate with Yahir. And it was very cool, in spite of the bummer that was the result. And I worked on a bunch of it already, but I'm trying to do my best Ryan Green impression and come up with a trip video. We'll see how it turns out. I'm no Ryan Green, but I try.
And I think with that note, it's a good time to end the pod. It's past midnight. The Rapids got boat raced. They got destroyed. They got annihilated. They're the worst team right now in the MLS. Right now, I'm gonna go jump off my building balcony. It's fine. We're good. It's Saturday night. I understand. It's part of the Rapids life. I'll be back in life tomorrow. We're fine, guys.
We're fine.
We live in misery. This season has been great for what it usually is. We're good.
We're fine.
We're all fine. This will forever be our lives while the Cronkies are in power. So get used to it, fellas. We still love the Pits. We still love the Burgundy Boys. And with that, I want to tell you to give us a 5-star review wherever you hear this podcast. Please let any Pit curious people know about this pod, where we're at. Like this YouTube video. Subscribe to our channel. We're really close to 100K. I've said this for about a year now, so now it's actually true. So please get us to 100K. We're right around the corner. And Duane, Mitch, anything else to plug?
Come to the Broncos tailgate tomorrow. Hang out with us. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, and again, no better time to become a diehard than right now. Brand new pricing. It's only $4 a month. If you're only in it for the PIDs, like we mentioned earlier, great new article from Mitch on the site. There's going to be more. If you want access to all of that good stuff, you can get it for only $4 a month, and you get a t-shirt, like the new Up the Effing Pids shirt. Great time to get that. But get in there. There's no better time with the new pricing. It's a great time to join the team.
Absolutely. I agree with everything Duane just said.
All right, guys. And most importantly than all, how we end every show, whether it's a win or loss, whether it's a draw, whether it's the reason I got a hernia, up the Pids.
We all silly like the mayor.